The sports columnist derided the team that has not won any matches since years. What is the meaning of the word derided? Deride is a verb which means make fun of or insult. Good evening everyone, my name is Vaishnavi as you all know, and welcome to today's session of SSC CGL Tier 1. The session that we are doing is the mock tests, all India mock tests, and let's get started. Okay. Alright, so let's start with the first question. The first question is choose the alternative which best expresses the meaning or the idiom or phrases in bold in the sentences. So you're supposed to tell the meaning, whatever is the right answer. She must be paying through the nose for the face left. Okay, she must be paying through the nose for the face left. Now, what is the meaning of the idiom? It is an idiom, it's not a phrase. Paying through the nose. Paying through the nose is an idiom which means, can anyone tell me? Okay, let's start with you guys telling me the answer, and then I will tell you the right answer. Is it paying less than necessary? Is it paying too much or paying the right amount? Paying reluctantly. What is the meaning of the word reluctantly? Reluctantly means not willingly. Okay, so the right answer for this one is paying too much. Okay, when you paying through the nose is when you pay too much for something that you were supposed to buy or you're supposed to possess. Okay, so I don't think there's much to discuss. Remember the idiom paying through the nose because it has been coming for the for idioms and phrases a lot of times. Okay, yes, the answer is 2. Let's move on to the next question. What egged you on to become a social worker? What egged you on? Okay, so what is the meaning of the idiom egged you on? Is it urged? Is it dampened? Is it hindered? Is it discouraged? Which one? What is the meaning of the word hindered? It means obstacle. Okay, it is used as a verb. So the meaning of the word hindrance or hinder is obstacle. Okay, what is the meaning of the word dampened? I repeat, what is the meaning of the word dampened? Okay, so dampened means making something wet. Okay, so the what egged you in means what urged you in to become a social worker. What was the driving force that led you to become a social worker? Okay, what pushed you or what encouraged you to become a social worker? So that is the meaning of the word egged you in. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Slightly wet or make it wet? Yes, right, Sindhuja. Let's move on to the next question. The next one is out of the woods. Okay, out of the woods. What is the meaning of the idiom out of the woods? to cross the woodland, to come out of a jungle, to be out of the danger, to be made of wood. Which one is the right answer? Can you please tell? Okay, someone is asking, yes, 3 is the right answer. Of course, it does not, if it is an idiom, it will never be the literal meaning. So these are talking about woodlands and jungle and making out of wood. So since we are referring to an idiom, it has to be something which has a figurative meaning and not the meaning of the words itself, okay? So that's why the answer is to be out of the danger. Yes, that is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question. He's putting the cart before the horse by purchasing furniture before buying a house. Okay, from the very meaning of this statement, if you look at the statement, you can actually guess the meaning of the word itself, or the idiom itself. He's putting the cart before the horse by purchasing furniture before buying a house. So that means he is doing something which has to be done later. He's doing it beforehand itself, okay? So I'm sure all of you can guess the meaning. Doing a thing in the wrong way. Yes, that is the meaning of the word. Doing the thing in a wrong way. Very easy idiom. Next one. You are supposed to talk about, choose the right idiom. What is the meaning of the idiom? Okay, child's play. What is the meaning of child's play? Something that is, I'm sure all of you know the meaning of this one, child's play. We give examples like, baking a cake is a child's play, or attempting SSC exam is a child's play for me. That means it is something that is very easily done, okay? Something that is not a tough job, something that is easily done. Yes, so the right answer is option 3, something very easily done. Okay, now we will be moving on to the passage. So the idioms that we have got this week were, I'm sure all of you passed with flying colors. Now the next thing that we will be doing is we will be discussing a passage. Very simple passage again, something that all of you will be able to get it, okay? So let's start with the passage, and I will give you 1 minute of time to go through, quickly skim through the passage, and then we will return to the questions, okay? Let's do it. Okay, this is the passage, quickly go through it, and then we will go to the questions. Few people project their mental process into, very interesting passage by the way, people project their mental processes into their handwriting. They subconsciously shape and organize their letters, words and lines in ways that directly reflect their personalities. This explains why no two handwritings are or even can be alike. The medium is just too personal. Everyday observation confirms the link between handwriting and personality, at least in an elementary way. Precise people construct their words with care, slowly and exactly. Dynamic people dash them off. Flamboyant people boldly cover half a page with a few words and a signature whose size fittingly reflects their expansive sense of self. Most of us have made such observations, but it takes a practiced eye to discern the scores of variation and interpret the subtle interplay of forces at work in any given handwriting. In fact, in Europe, handwriting analysis, known as graphology, now enjoys scientific acceptance and common use. Okay. Okay, sorry, we were supposed to be reading the passage and that's why people are saying done. Okay, so it is a very interesting passage. The entire gist of the passage is that we are talking about graphology, okay, the art of writing. So everyone has a peculiar way of writing and it is just too personal. That's what the passage says, and it has got scientific acceptance now, okay, because of it being it is studied as a science, okay, because it has many variants, and It depends on the personality as well. What type of writing do you have? Okay. Now, okay, so let's just look at the word graphology. It is very simple. The art of writing or the way of writing is known as graphology, or the study of writing. Okay, so logy, you all know, is nothing but study. Graph, like I have told you, I am sure that I've told you this, that graph means nothing but writing. Okay, so study of writing is nothing but graphology. Okay, now the next thing that I want to talk about is the word okay, flamboyant. What is the meaning of the word flamboyant? If any, yes, graph means write and logy means study. So what is the meaning of the word flamboyant? You must have heard this word very often. People say he has a very flamboyant personality. What does the word means? Flamboyant means nothing but someone who, I'll write it down for you, someone who attracts attention. Okay, why does he attract attention? Because of his exuberant, okay, exuberant, confident and stylishness. Okay, because of his, someone who is very, someone who shows off a lot, maybe because of that. Someone who is splendid. Okay, someone who's stunning, someone who's energetic. Yes, all the good words, but it is not that good. Flamboyant is a person who also shows off a lot, okay, or is sometimes looked down upon because of his over enthusiasm and overconfidence. Okay, so that is flamboyant. Okay, the meaning. So let's quickly go to the questions now. What is the meaning of discern? It just means recognize or find out. Recognize or find out. I could not discern any difference between the two pies that my friends had made. Okay, so that means I could not make out, or could not find out any difference between the pies that my friends have made. Okay, now we will go to the questions. Okay, now without looking or without going back or without referring to anything, just tell me what the answers are. According to the author, people are not conscious of what they write, aggressive in nature of their handwriting, not conscious of the way they write, not used to personal writing. Which one is the right answer? Not conscious of the way they write, because it happens subconsciously. Okay, it is clearly mentioned. They subconsciously shape, look at this line, they subconsciously shape and organize their letters and words. Okay. Yes, third one. Handwriting analysis is, what is it? Is it not useful to us? Is it an elementary study? Is it an precise and imprecise science? A means of studying personality? Yes, we are talking about how handwritings can depict, because every handwriting is very different from the other handwriting, so it is very unique in its own way, and everyone's handwriting is completely different from the other. Okay, so it will be answer 4. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Graphology is, what is graphology? Graphology is the study of graphs, the analysis of handwriting, a special branch of phonetics, a graphical description of handwriting. So as we have already discussed the word, it actually means the analysis of handwriting. Yes, option 2. Let's move on to the next question. If you are a showy and colorful person, your handwriting is likely to be neat and slow, dashing and careless, bold and large, legible but small. Okay, what is the meaning of the word legible? Legible means something that is something that can be read. Okay, illegible on the other hand is the opposite of legible, which means something that cannot be read. Okay, some people have the handwriting which cannot be read at all. They are called cacographers because they have bad handwritings. Caco means bad and graph means writing, like you all know, and their handwritings are completely illegible, something like mine. I don't know, I think so. So that is legible and illegible. Okay, so something that can be read. Okay, but we are not talking about, that is not the right answer. Okay, so people who are showy and colorful, that means we are talking about flamboyant people. So they, as we read, that flamboyant people boldly cover half a page with a few words. Okay, so that means they write in bold and large. Doctors, yes, Neelab, you're right. Doctors have good handwriting. I don't think so doctors have good handwriting, Neelab. Most doctors having the same kind of handwriting. Okay, but we are not talking about the same kind of handwriting. We are talking about, okay, I'm not sure which example are you giving. Are you giving example for people who have bold and large handwriting, or are you giving example for someone who is a cacographer and is illegible? Yes, doctors' handwriting is completely illegible. Yes, okay, let's get back to the question. The answer for this is option 3. That is bold and large. Okay, moving on to the next question. The fast that handwriting is related to personality. What? Okay, there's some mistake over here. We are talking about handwriting being related to personality. Have people noticed it, or what is it? Okay, so has been noticed by most people that people have different handwriting and is related to personalities, or is appreciated by dynamic people? No, we are not talking about that. Is restricted to a person who writes carefully? No. Handwriting is related to personality and most people have noticed it is what we are talking about. So the answer is 1. Is known only to graphologists. No, it clearly mentions in the first line itself, if you can see, not in the first line. Precise people construct slowly. Everyday observation confirms to link handwriting, at least in an elementary way. Precise people construct. Okay. Most of us have made such observation right here. Most of us have made such observation. So it is not just something that is only related to graphologists. It is something that we have all observed, that people who have okay, I had a very good friend who I do have a very good friend. We have lost touch, but he knows how to read handwritings, and there are things that he can say about people's handwriting. It is an actual study. So yes, but even if he wasn't, I still know that people have different handwriting. People who have people who write with, you know, applying a lot of pressure on their notebooks. They try to suppress their inner urge or something like that. Okay, so there are a few things everybody knows, that some people have a very bad handwriting. It shows that they have a lot of logical reasoning and they have a lot of brain work going on, so they do not have time to just sit and craft their way out. On the other hand, creative people, they write very beautifully and things like that. Okay, so yes, that's why. Okay, so the answer will be option 1, has been noticed by most people. How many of you knew about this? How many of you knew that people have different handwriting? How many of you know that people have different handwriting and it is somehow related to their personalities? I don't think it is a new information at all. Is it? Caco bad, cacophone, bad sound, cacograph, bad writing. Yes, Sony, you are absolutely right. दिल से लिखने वाले. Okay. Neelab, who are you talking about? Okay. So this part is done. This was a very interesting passage, and let's move on to the next section. Okay, so here we have these. I am sure that we will quickly go through. We will quickly go through this one because it is very easy, and I do not think we need to waste a lot of time on this. Okay, and there's not much explanation needed for this segment. Okay, so let's start with. You are supposed to fill with appropriate words. Okay, he dash in this school since 2010. He since 2010. So we are talking about something that has started in 2010 and is still going on. Okay, so we will, for this we will use present perfect continuous. Okay, he has been studying in this school, so the answer is option 3. He has been studying since 2010 in the school since 2010. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question. I don't think tenses, guys, please make sure that your tenses, you're very, very thorough with your tenses, okay? So understand when to use which tense, and he has been studying. Yes, it is very important that you also remember that with has been, you always use the ing form of verb, okay? Let's move on to the next question. These trousers are too long, dash the length please. Okay, so what are you supposed to do when your trousers are too long? You what do you do to the length? Length you usually reduce, you do not diminish the length. What is the meaning of diminish? Something that you make something less. Okay, make or become less. Okay. Intelligent people have diminished from the society. Okay, that is how we use the word diminish. Okay, lessen is just making something less. Curtail, what is the meaning of curtail? Curtail means reduce in extent or quality. Okay, so it is, sorry, not quality, reduce in extent or quantity. I'm so sorry. Quantity. Okay, or it is basically, if you do not consider this, the main meaning of curtail is a restriction on something. Alright, curtail also means reduce. Yes, it does, but we use it, like I said, it is reduction in the form of restriction. Okay, restricting something and not providing it. Okay, so the government curtailed its financial aid to Kerala. Okay, so that means it put a restriction on something. But reduce, on the other hand, is the actual word. Okay, all these words have synonyms as reduce or extended meaning as reduce. On the other hand, we have got the word reduce, so why not use the word reduce itself? All right. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So the answer is 4. That means reduce. These trousers are too long. Reduce the length, please. Okay. Neelab, that was a very bad joke. Okay. Darji curtail nahi samajhta hai bhai. Okay. Anyways, let's move on to the next question. So what are you supposed to do? Same thing. What did you think of the film? Dash, I didn't like it very much. Okay. So, what are the options? To be honest, being honest, to be fair. Okay, to be fair is, what is the meaning of to be fair? To be just. Okay. On the other hand, to be honest means to speak their mind. Okay, someone who speaks their mind. So we usually use the phrase to be honest, or we say honestly I did not like it. Okay, so instead of honestly you can also replace it with to be honest. So the right answer is not being honest, not in honesty. It will be option 1, to be honest. Yes, 1. All of you got it. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay, next one. We must not dash the real and important advances science has made. Okay, we must not what? We must not oppose? No, we can oppose this scientific advancement, the real and important advances that science has made. So scientific advancement, we cannot oppose it, of course not. We cannot question it because it has already been done. Advancement, we cannot doubt it because it is right in front of our eyes, but we can ignore it. So we should not is what it is saying. So the answer will be option 3, that we should not ignore scientific advancement, okay, or the real and important things that science has given to us, like vaccines, like rockets, and like, yes, there are many examples. We can see science all around us. Okay, let's go on to the next question. Some mysteries remain in desert research, especially relating to why some regions once fertile are now, okay, we are talking about something that was once fertile. Okay, so we are talking about the opposite of what was some mysteries remain in desert research. Okay, so we are talking about research on desert. Okay, and the mystery is that why this is one of the mystery, that why some regions once fertile are now what, blossoming? No, we are talking about something that has to be opposite. Blossoming is some it is fertile yet. Okay, cultivated, no, again something that is barren. Okay, so the opposite of fertile is barren. Barren land is land which is completely dry and is not fit for cultivation. Okay, so yes, once fertile is barren. So the answer is option 3, barren. Let's go on to the next question. Find the correctly spelt, find the word that is correctly spelt. Okay, my favorites. Now, you tell me which words are correctly spelt. Let's see. Okay, first one, if you can actually see flexible, whenever we are saying the word flexible, you all know that there is no BB in flexible. Okay, okay, what is flimsy? Let's discuss what is flimsy. It is oh my god, it is insubstantial and easily damaged. Okay, something that is insubstantial and is easily damaged, something that is very fragile, something that is very easy to break. Okay, something that is very delicate. Okay, so that is flimsy. Okay, and yes, it is rightly spelt as well. Flemish is Flemish is related to people from Flanders or involving anything that is to do with its people or the language. Okay, Flanders speak Flemish, so there is no MM. Gonorrhea, on the other hand, is a disease. Okay, it is a venereal disease which involves inflammatory discharge from the urethra or the vagina. Okay, so what is the real spelling of gonorrhea? There is RR, okay, in gonorrhea. So the rightly spelt is Option 2, that is flimsy. Okay, remember the word flimsy, used sometimes. Yes, no, flimsy does not means thin. It means something that is very fragile or can be easily broken and is can be damaged very easily. Okay, that is the meaning of flimsy. Okay, next one, Flibbertigibbet. That is the word. The word is Flibbertigibbet. What is the meaning of the word Flibbertigibbet? Anyone? How many of you got this one right? If I may ask. Very interesting word. Flibbertigibbet. Okay, let's till I see how many of you got it right, because you all of you know your answers, right? This is an synonym. Okay. So what is the right spelling of Flibbertigibbet? Okay. Is it Flibbertigibbet? Flibbertigibbet. It is gibbet, not bit. Okay. Flip. It is flibber. Till here it is correct. Flibbertigibbet. It is correct. Okay. So the option 2 is correct. Option 3 and 4 are wrong. Yes, what is the meaning of the word Flibbertigibbet? Someone who is an excessively talking person, okay? Someone who talks a lot, okay? Is a Flibbertigibbet, okay? Yes, a chatterbox, if you may say. Not necessarily, okay? Someone who talks a lot, if is very talkative, yes, most of the time it can be nonsense. Someone who talks a lot does not always speak sense, okay? So it can be bakwas as well. Okay, yes, the answer is 2. Let's move on to the next question. Neelam, yeah, meri tarah. So yes, you are a Flibbertigibbet if you are calling it yourself. I am not a part of this. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay. Encumbrance. Okay, so first of all, encumbrance starts with an E, so option 3 and option 4 you can easily strike out. Okay, income. Okay, whenever there is the word come, circumlocution, circumference, we use CUM, not COM. Okay, it becomes com over here. So the right answer is option 1. And what is the meaning of encumbrance? It means burden. Okay. So it can also be called as an impediment. Yes. All of you are right. It is option 1. Yes. Impediment. IMPEDIMENT, or a burden. Impediment or a burden is encumbrance. Okay, if you can make a sentence on this, it would be wonderful, guys. I'm sure all of you can see the answer, but words are very, very important for you to remember. So let's see. Okay, next one, error spotting. Okay, so what are you supposed to do? You, in the following questions, some part of the sentence have errors and some are correct. Find out which part of the sentence has an error. The number of that part is the answer. If sentence is free from error, your answer is option 4. That means no error. Okay. So let's see. After we were driving for miles, okay, so let's see, since we are focusing on the tense over here, as you can see, we were driving. So let's see if the sentence is in the same tense. On the winding road. Okay, what is the meaning of winding? Something that has a lot of twists and turns. Okay. twists and turns. Winding road, I was suddenly sick. Okay, after we were driving, I was suddenly sick. Okay, look at the, it is not in the same tense, is it? We are talking about here, it is, the event is related to the past. Okay, and here we are using simple past, so the entire statement has to be in simple past, because otherwise it is not making complete sense. It is not grammatically right. After we drove, so we are talking about after we drove 4 miles together, then I started feeling sick, then I was suddenly sick. Okay, so this, the entire thing is in simple past. Okay, so the error is in option 1. 1 is the answer. Alright, let's move on to the has been, driving, drove. After we had been driving. No, you are not supposed to change it into past perfect continuous. You are supposed to change the entire statement into, since the last statement is in simple past, the entire thing has to be in simple past. We are speaking in one tense. Okay, so it has to be after we drove 4 miles on the winding road, I was suddenly sick. Okay, Jayamurli? Oh, okay. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Error spotting. Jayamurli, you have a huge problem with error spotting. So, please make sure that you are practicing error spotting more. Okay? Alright, let's move on to the next question. This photograph appears to be the best of the two. Okay, we are talking about, we usually, colloquially, when we speak, we say best of two. Let's have a match and see the best of two. Okay, no, here we are talking about two photographs, comparing two photographs, and we are talking about which one is better. Okay, so it cannot be in the superlative degree, it has to be in the comparative degree. Okay, so it has to be the best, not the best of two, it has to be the better of the two. Okay, because we are taking two things and we are comparing which one would be better. Alright, so the answer will be, where is the error? The error is in 3. Okay, so the answer will be 3. Alright, moving on. Now here comes another favorite part of mine, where you are supposed to choose the opposite in meaning to the given bold word and mark the answer, correct answer. Okay, so what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to see the word. You are supposed to find out what will be the opposite of that word. Okay, so let's start. What is the meaning of the word liberty? If anyone can tell me. You must have heard this word very often. Liberty, liberty, liberty. People keep on going about liberty. And first of all, let's see which, what is, no answers for now. First, let's understand the meaning of liberty. What is liberty? Freedom, yes. So, which part of speech is liberty? Liberty is a noun, okay? So, noun, and the meaning is the state of being free within a society from oppression, okay? So, no oppression is. What is the meaning of serenity? Serenity is again a noun, which means the state of being calm and serene. Okay. There's a lot of serenity in the woods. That means in forest you find a lot of peace and calm, a tranquil environment, if you must say. Okay, so tranquil and yes, calm, serenity, tranquility, all these words are related to peacefulness and calm and composed, okay, manner. All right. What is the meaning of slavery? Slavery, I'm sure all of you understand. It is an oppressed society. Okay, this is free from oppression. And this is a society or slavery is where people are oppressed. Okay. Serfdom means, again, this is also related to slavery. Okay, but it is the state of being a serf. And what is the meaning of serf? Serf means agricultural laborer. Okay, or it can also be feudal laborer. Feudalism was practiced in the 18th century and 19th century a lot, where lords and rich people used to own lands, agricultural lands, and they used to allocate them to the agricultural farmers, the serfs, and they used to work on the land and pay for their what did they pay for? The security and the providing protection by the king. It can be paid or by the nobles. Okay, so nobles used to own lands and they used to allocate serfs. Okay, serfs were nothing but agricultural laborers. Okay, so that is the meaning of serfdom, the state of being a serf. Okay, and what is subordination? Subordination is the action of subordinating, or the state of being subordinated. And what is the meaning of subordinate? Again, subordinate is someone who is lower in rank to someone. Okay, okay, so the answer, of course, liberty. The opposite will be Statue of Liberty was gifted to US by France. Yes, it was. That's why one statue is also in France. Completely out of context, Sony, but okay. Okay. So, liberty, guys, please do not sway away from the topic. We are still here and we are discussing each word because each word is important. Okay, so the answer will be option 2, slavery. Liberty, slavery. Okay, let's go on to the next question. The next one is disorderly. It is very clear this is a negative prefix and orderly. Okay, something that is in order, that means organized. So opposite of disorderly will be organized. Of course, you understand the meaning of chaotic, right? It is the chaos. Chaotic or chaos. Chaotic is adjective. In a chaotic state. So in a state of complete confusion and disorder. Okay, so chaos and order, they are also opposite, but we are talking about something being disorderly, that means disorganized. Okay, so 4 can also be right, madam. Arranged. No, sweetheart, it won't be 4 because we are talking about something being in order and not in order. Okay, not out of order, something being in order and not in order. So something being organized and something being disorganized. Okay, or disorderly. So the answer will be option 2. They are very, very close. Okay, the first one first one is, it's not the opposite, it is same as disorderly. Okay, something that is chaotic. The last one, on the other hand, arranged, is something that is probably put in line. Okay, in a definite sequence or in a definite line. Okay, so that's why it will not be 4th. We are talking about organizing things and putting things in order. Okay, so the answer is option. And organized can also be in any way, Sony. Yes. Okay, So the answer is option 2, and let's move on to the next question. Elevation. Okay, now elevation is also, what is elevation usually related to? Putting something in a higher position, okay, is elevate something, okay. That's why it is called elevators, okay, because they take you from one place and it usually takes you, also it brings you to the ground floor, but the main purpose of elevators was to take you to from one level to another level, okay, to elevate you, okay. So what is the meaning of elevation? The action or fact of raising or being raised to a higher or more important level, okay. It can be related to position as well, it can be related to a state, or it can be related to position, it can be related to any of this, okay. Now, so if we are talking about going from one level to another level, okay. So will it be reduction? We are still choosing the opposite, by the way. So will it be reduction? No, it is cutting down something. Humiliation. Humiliation is a noun, which means, what does humiliation means? The action of being humiliated, and the synonyms are mortified, very important synonyms: mortified, embarrassed, okay. These are the synonyms of humiliation, okay. I'm sure all of you know the meaning of humiliate someone, okay. The next one, depression. Depression is actually, what is the meaning of okay, now elevation over here, we are not talking about just rising, we are talking about a feeling over here. And how do I know this is about feeling? Okay, because most of the words are related to feelings over humiliation, depression, debasement, okay. Now debasement is lowering the value of currency, so it is nowhere related to okay. So elevation, I am in an elevated mood today. That means I am feeling very high on high and happy. High in the sense of feeling, okay, not high as in, yes, high, but elevation in feelings means in a very rejoiceful way, in a very happy mood. Elevate is, oh, thank you Sony, elevate is verb, elevator and elevation both are noun, yes, okay. So the opposite will be depression. Why will it be depression? Because we are talking about a feeling of, we are talking about a feeling. On one hand, elevation is bringing joy and raising your feelings. On the other hand, depression is probably feeling low and sad and miserable, okay. So that is option, metaphoric depression. No, we are talking about actual depression, not metaphoric depression, okay. So the answer is option 3. Let's look at the next word, glossy. Glossy is, I'm sure all of you know what is the meaning. This is a pretty simple word. Lip gloss you must have heard, which means something that makes your lips shine, okay. So gloss means a lot of shine, a lot of shining, yes. So that is the meaning of glossy. So what will be the opposite? Something that is very dull and sober and not very shiny, okay. What is the meaning of the word weary? It is an adjective and it means feeling or showing extreme tiredness, okay. So I am okay, feeling or showing extremely tired. So we are not talking about feeling tired, okay. Dull, yes, first one is the right option. Alright, let's move on to the next question quickly. I am sure this, all of you must have got this one right. So let's move on to the next question. Appropriate, again something that should all of you know the meaning of. What is the meaning of appropriate? Something that is... Can you tell me what is the meaning of appropriate? If I say, and this is not the appropriate time to discuss jokes, okay, or to discuss movies. So this is not the appropriate time. That means, what is the meaning of wear and tear, weary, okay. Yes, Jayamuli, you're absolutely right. This section, I'm sure you get it, most of it right. Okay, so appropriate means something that is suitable or proper, okay, something that is a proper time or a right time or something that is right, okay. So the answer, the opposite will be inappropriate, as in unsuitable. Okay, what is the meaning of disparate? Disparate means something that is essentially different in kind, okay. Okay, something that cannot be compared or is, so that is the meaning. So the answer is option 3. Now we will be moving on to the next segment of today's discussion. Now remember, vocabulary, idioms, very, very important. So you should be very, very thorough with it. Alright, let's move on to the next question. Again, we have questions on idioms, and the question is a damp squib. What is the meaning of a damp squib? Is it a rainy weather, a disappointing result, or a skirt in a laundry, none of the above, okay. So a damp squib means a situation which was expected to be very wonderful and very nice, something that you expected to be fabulous, and it turned out not very impressive, okay. So the answer will be desperate versus disparate, okay. Appropriate, root word from proper, okay, you guys are still in that question, okay. So yes, the meaning of a damp squib means something that you expected it to be very impressive, but it turned out to be something very unimpressive, okay. Or so, for example, I can say I usually look forward to my birthdays, and I was expecting it to be fabulous this time, but it turned out to be a damp squib. That means it turned out to be disappointing. Yes, so the answer will be, for a damp squib, the answer will be a disappointing result. Okay, so you expected something, an event, it can be an event or a situation which is much less impressive than expected, okay. Okay, what is the meaning of the actual word squib? Squib is a firework, okay, that makes the hissing sound, okay. It is a firework or a firecracker which makes a hissing sound, okay. So a damp squib, that's why if you relate it to the word, squib means, like I'm saying, it means a firework. It is a firework which makes the hissing sound before it explodes, okay. So patake is nothing but squib, okay. So damp squib means something, wet squib, that means it did not, you expected it to be all nice and you expected it to burst really well, but it turned out to be a damp squib, okay. So you can relate it to the word itself, you can relate it to the idiom itself, something that you expected to be very nice and very awesome. Squib is nothing but a firecracker which makes a hissing sound before exploding. Alright, fussy bomb. Okay, alright, wet cracker. Yes, let's move on to the next question. Sorry, I meant next. Yes, in cold blood. Okay, so in cold blood, you must have heard this very often related to or associated with murders. Okay, so in cold blood, he murdered him in cold blood. Okay, so that means, what is the meaning of cold blood? Okay, without feeling remorse or without feeling mercy, or just doing something brutally, okay, without having any mercy, or something that has been deliberately. Okay, so the answer will be deliberately, not angrily. Murdering someone in cold blood does not mean someone did it with anger. It means someone did it without having any remorse, or with all the intention to murder someone. Okay, for example, Julius Caesar was murdered by Brutus in cold blood. That means that there was full intention. He deliberately did it and ruthlessly did it. Yes, Neelab. Alright. So that is the meaning of in cold blood. Next one. To move heaven and earth. Okay, now to move heaven and earth, to make everything, okay, to do everything possible to make something happen. Okay, so is to move heaven and earth. I think I've discussed this idiom. Some of you gave the example that to clear my SSC exam, I will move heaven and earth. Yes, to do all that you can, or put your best foot forward. Again, another idiom, to put your best foot forward, or to can't feel emotions. Okay, yes, try everything is the meaning of the word to move heaven and earth. To do everything one can to make something possible. So the answer is option 2. Zameen asman ek kar dena. Exactly. You are right. Yes. To move heaven and earth. It literally is the actual translation from this proverb, this idiom, to the Hindi idiom that we have. Zameen asman ek kar dena. Okay. So let's move on to the next question. To smell a rat. Okay, so it actually does not mean that you are smelling. Okay, when do you smell a rat? Okay, so when we say to smell a rat, that means a rat that has died and emitting a foul smell. So to smell a rat means being suspicious of something. Okay, dal mein kuch kala hai, like we say. Yes. So to be suspicious of something is the answer. Okay. Okay. Also, make sure that you remember that to smell a rat does not mean someone is very sure that there is something wrong, but there is no surety or evidence that there is something wrong, but there is this feeling that there is something not right. Okay, so that is the meaning of to smell a rat. Okay, so the answer will be option 4, to be suspicious. Yes. Let's move on to the next question. To take someone for a ride. Okay, now this one, I'm sure all of you know the meaning of this one. It means to con or to swindle or to deceive someone. Okay, so very nice example is the babas that we have. Okay, so the sentence that I can make, babas or gurus that we have to take someone for a ride is, okay, the quick get to rich guru made thousands of people, or he took thousands of people for a ride by of course, by telling them that you will get rich in 20 days and things like that, and he finally conned everyone. Okay, so taking someone for a ride is to con or to swindle or to deceive someone. So the answer is to deceive someone, to fabricate a lie. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Which one is correctly spelled? So out of this, there are many incorrectly spelled words. You are supposed to tell me which one is correctly spelled. Okay. Gestalt. It is not questalt. It is Gestalt. I will tell you the meaning. First, let's see what is the meaning of these words. Okay, imbroglios, and this is the spell, and this is how it is pronounced, imbroglios. Okay. Okay, someone, Sony, I am doing, I have taken your feedback. Yes, we do need to do a session on idioms, and that is happening tomorrow. Okay, so we will have idioms that you need to remember, and yes. Okay, anyways, imbroglios, the spelling is IMBROGLIO, where G is usually silent. Okay, and the meaning I will discuss it after we have discussed the word. Okay, it is impasse, and this is the spelling, not impasse, it is impasse. Okay, and the final one is recondite. Recondite meaning is something that is little known. This is correctly spelled, little known, something that is obscure, or something that is abstruse. All of this means the same. Okay, recondite. Okay, so if I have to give you a sentence on recondite, it would be imbroglio. Yes, it is written as imbroglio, but it is pronounced as imbroglio. Okay, anyways, let's get back to the question. Recondite, if I have to make a sentence, the book was filled with recondite information. That means something that is very little known to me, or something that is information that was completely gibberish to me. Okay, so that is the use of recondite. What is the meaning of impasse? Impasse is a situation in which no progress is possible. And why is that? It is because of, especially because of disagreement, okay, or a deadlock. Okay, so alright, so a situation which is we could not come to a conclusion because of the imbroglio that we were in. Okay, so or imbroglio that we were in. So that means that we were in a situation of a deadlock. No, there was nothing coming out of the situation. So that's the meaning of the word imbroglio. Okay, I am sorry, that's the meaning of the word impasse. Okay, impasse. I am so sorry. Yes, deadlock. That is the meaning of impasse, not imbroglio. I don't know, for some reason this word has been going on in my head, imbroglio. Okay, impasse means a situation which you cannot come out with a conclusion, or you cannot make any progress from because people have disagreement, there's a discord, and that's why it is an impasse. Okay, let's move on to the next word. Imbroglio means an extremely confused, complicated, or embarrassing situation. Okay, so it can be either of it. An extremely confused, complicated, or embarrassing situation. Gestalt. Gestalt means an organized whole that is perceived as more than the sum of its part. Okay, these are the meanings of the words. Okay. Now, very tough words, so please make sure that you remember these words and make sure that you remember the spelling of these words. It is not questalt, it is gestalt. It is not imbroglios, it is imbroglio, but it is pronounced as imbroglios. It is not impasse, it is impasse. And recondite is, you know what recondite it is. It is something that is little known or something that is obscure or abstruse is the meaning. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, you have to find out which one is correctly spelled. As you can see, correspondence always has an RR. Insurance has a C instead of S. Assurance has an A instead of ASSURANCE. And what is hindrance? Hindrance is nothing but we just discussed this word. I think few minutes ago we discussed this word, which means an obstacle. Okay? Yes, the answer is 1. Okay. Correspondence, what is the meaning of correspondence? Correspondence is a close similarity. Okay? Or connection. Or equivalence. Okay? Insurance, I'm sure you all know, it is protection from financial loss. When you take an insurance, you protect yourself from financial loss. And what is the meaning of assurance? It is a positive declaration. Positive declaration intended to give confidence. Usually when parents, they are admitting their kids to school or colleges, the teachers who are friendly, they usually say, do not worry, I assure you that they are in safe hands. That means I am giving you a positive declaration that they will be taken care of. Okay, so it is intended to correspondence course. Yes. Okay, someone is asking, please explain, gestalt with an example, ma'am. Okay, we will get to that, Jayamuli. Let's first finish all that, okay? Or finish all of the other spellings, okay? Adversary, what is the meaning of adversary? It is a noun and it means one's opponent, in a contest. Okay, so he is my adversary, that means he is my opponent. Okay, or it can be a contest, it can be a conflict, or it can be a dispute. Sorry. All right, what is adultery? it is a voluntary sexual intercourse between a married person and a person who is not their spouse. So in the holy book of Bible, it is clearly written adultery is a sin. That means a married man cannot get involved in intercourse with someone else apart from his spouse. Okay, so that is adultery. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Yes, advisory. What is the meaning of advisory? Having or consisting in the power to make recommendation. Okay. So the advisory committee, we all know there is a committee called as an advisory committee. What is their purpose? What is the purpose of the advisory committee? They have been given the power to make advice, okay, or give recommendation, to give advice or to give recommendation. But they are not given the power, they haven't been given the power to take any action, okay. So they are just there to give advice to the best of their knowledge, but they are not supposed to take any action. Yes. So in this question, both 1 and 3 are correctly spelled. I do not know, there must be a mistake, but I think both are. And finally we have arbitrary, which means based on random choice or personal whim rather than any system, any reason or system. Okay. Yes, so arbitrary means based on random choice, based on personal, probably whim, okay, personal choice rather than a systematic, okay, something that is done, okay, this was an arbitrary decision, no one was involved. That means it was a personal decision I made without any reasoning, without any system or system in place, or without any reason, okay, out of the whim, out of the blue, okay. So that is the meaning of the word arbitrary. Okay, let's move on to the next question quickly. Which one is correctly spelled? Okay, first one you can understand that, okay, this is which type of spelling are we discussing? G-U-E, okay. When do we use this type of spelling, okay? So rogue, you know, it is R-O-G-U-E. That means a dishonest and unprincipled man, okay. Oh my God. Okay. Colleague, you know, a person with whom you work is a colleague, okay. That is the meaning of the word colleague, and it is C-O-L-L-E-A-G-U-E. G-U-E is the correct one, okay. Dialogue has, if you I think it should be dialogue, I'm not sure. An algae. And algae, what is this meaning of algae? It is a photosynthetic organism that means it produces its food with the help of the sunlight. Okay, you must have seen this moss that is when it rains in rainy season, you have this green deposit. That is an algae. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Yes, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, colleague is rightly spelled. Next question. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, A-L-G-A-E. Yes, that is the spelling of algae, not A-L-A. I'm sorry. Okay, there has to be nothing over here and there has to be an A and E. Yes. Let's move on to the next question. Malignant. What is the meaning of malignant? Something that is evil. Malice, mal, prefix that is mal, that means anything that is evil or bad, evil in nature. We can also use words like malevolent. Another word with mal is malicious. Malicious also means, or malign is also another word. So remember this, all of this means the same. How convenient. Like plants on rocks, yes, that is algae. Tumor. Okay, so all these words, yes, I have put the screen now. So all these words means mal. If you talk about the prefix, I think when we were talking about, I did discuss one of the root words where mal is bad and bene is anything that starts with B-E-N-E or B-E-N is good. So benefit, beneficiary, beneficial, all these words are related to benevolent, all these words are related to good. On the other hand, mal, anything that starts with mal is related to bad or evil, or all means the same. Okay, so malicious, malevolent, malign, all these words means bad or evil. Okay, impertinent has E over here, and the meaning of impertinent is not showing proper respect. Okay, someone who's very rude. Impertinent is someone who's rude. Impertinent, N-E-N-T. Okay, independent, is there a word independent? It is not independent. Okay, and finally negligent has an I over here. Negligent, it means failing to take proper care over something. Okay, so negligence of people over traffic rules. Okay, so they are not obeying the traffic rules, they are negligent about it. That means they are not taking proper care of it. Okay, next word, let's move on to the next one. Malevolent. Yes, okay. Now what are you supposed to do? You are supposed to find out which part of this has an error. So we have finished the spelling once and we are going to the, before we finish the spelling once, let's get back to the gestalt, an organized whole that is perceived as more than the sum of its parts. Okay. Okay, so what is the meaning of gestalt? It is an organized whole which is perceived as something that is more than its parts. Okay, so you can make a sentence like, instead of taking a piece of cake, he took the gestalt he took the Gestalt cake, okay? That means he took the entire cake, which is whole of and more than the sum of its parts, okay? So that is the use of Gestalt. Let's go on, let's move on to the next category. Quickly, we will discuss the final error spotting. So, a great many students have been declared successful. Is there any error over here? A great many students, okay, so we are talking about many students. It should not be the, okay. Okay, it is absolutely fine. There is no error. So the answer would be option 4. A great many students. It is fine. Why is there an error? A great many students is fine. If it was student, then it would have been an error. D. Yes, let's move on to the next one. We are going to launch this 3 crores project. Okay, so the error is in option B because we never say 3 crores, okay? When do we use when we have to talk about a specific number, okay, so we say 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 3 crore. We do not use the plural form. However, when the number is not specific or not something that is not precise, okay, then we use, what do we use? Then we use crores, okay, like a huge amount of money has been sent to the aid of Kerala victims and the number is in crores, okay, so that means we are not very precise. So the answer will be B. The error is in B, that is 2. Yes, moving on. I hope to go to shopping this weekend if the weather permits, okay. I hope to go, you do not go to shopping, you go for shopping, okay, remember this. You always go for shopping, so the error is again in option 1. Let's move on to the next category. The lawyer asked if it was worth to take the matter to court. Okay, if it was worth, the lawyer asked if it was worth to take. Worth means we are talking about the yes, right. Okay, so we are talking about, here we are talking about worthy, not worth. If it was worthy to take the matter to court. So the answer, the error is in option 2, whether it was worthy or not, okay. Next one. After a carefully investigation, here itself is the error because this is adverb and we are not supposed to use adverb before a noun. We use adjective, so it has to be replaced with an adverb, has to be replaced with an adjective. So there, after a careful investigation, so the error is in option 1. Yes. So that's about it. We are done with today's session. We discussed a lot of questions. I hope to go shopping. Yes, you can say go shopping, but you do not say go to shopping, okay? You go for a shopping, okay? For shopping. Yes, after a careful investigation, all of you are right. We discussed a lot of questions. Please make sure that you are completely thorough with all the questions that are discussed and you never face a problem in these questions, okay? So that would be about it. I will be signing off now. Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you everyone for attending the session. I enjoyed the session. Hope you did too. Good night everyone. Have a safe evening. All right.